Assalamu alaikum students. My name is Asif. Today I am here with the first poem of second year English. Today our second lecture and we are going to study this poem that was written by William Shakespeare. First of all, I hope you all are fine and you are going to study this poem very well. First, I will tell you something or some points about William Shakespeare, and then in the second part of this video I will be telling you about some basic points of the poem. So without wasting our time, let's start. First, I'm going to tell you who was William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare basically was one of the great personality of English literature. No doubt he was a tremendous personality. He is also known as a great dramatist. Here are some points that we need to study before going to study the poem. Point number 1. He was born in 1564 in Stratford. In 1564, there was an era of Queen Elizabeth. So he is also called, he belongs to Elizabethan age. The second point you need to look at very carefully. First of all, we know him as a dramatist. But besides dramatist, he was poet and also an actor. A year before 2019, a MCQ was asked. William Shakespeare was a dramatist and besides he was a/n. Great. So many students had no idea he was also an actor. So this point need to be remembered or need to be kept in your brain while taking exam. The third point, he belongs to Elizabethan age. In your exam, you are studying intermediate English and that is totally different from the metric English. Sometimes the examiner asks you from which age the writer or the poet belongs to and you have to answer it. So he belongs to Elizabethan age, means an age, an era, the period when Queen Elizabeth used to rule over the England. The third point, that is the very important point, when we study about the poet, writer or someone else, we first talk about in literature how was the work of that personality, how much work or how much plays or how many books were written by that person. So here are the works by William Shakespeare. He wrote 37 plays. During his life, all the plays were performed personally by himself at the palace of Queen Elizabeth and King James. And besides the plays, we know him, he was a great dramatist. But we should also know that he was not only a dramatist but also a poet and an actor. I told you earlier, he performed his plays himself. It means he was an actor. And the second great point of his personality is that he was a poet. He wrote 154 sonnets. What is sonnet? Sonnet is a sort of poem. You might have studied in the first year that sonnet is a poem of 14 lines. He wrote during his life 154 sonnets. He was called, every great personality has a title, so he too has a title. The title is the Bard of Avon. What does it mean? What is Bard? Bard is a great personality. He was called the Bard of Avon. And what is Avon? Avon is a river nearby Stratford. And the next thing, he died in 1616. He died in 1616 and was buried in Trinity Church. Trinity Church, that is a famous church in England, and many of the poets and dramatists and writers were buried over there during 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th until now. There were some points about William Shakespeare. No doubt he was a great personality, but now this time we are going to the second part of the poem, that is the learning of the poem. First thing I want to tell you that this poem is basically a speech. This is a speech. Remember this thing. In first year you studied William Shakespeare's poem Under the Greenwood Tree. That was a song, but this is a speech. That was a song and this is a speech. So it is a speech taken from the play As You Like It. As You Like It is a play written by William Shakespeare, actually a comedy play. The second point, as I told you that it was a speech, so that speech was delivered by Jacques in the forest of Arden, Arden. Speech was delivered by Jacques in the forest of Arden. Who was Jacques? Jacques was one of the member of a group who was exiled from the city, and they were forced to live in the forest of Arden, and they were alleged they were traitor to their country. So it is another point that is nothing to do with this poem, but we need to remember the background of the poem. Now we are going towards the 7 different ages. William Shakespeare believes that a man comes into this world and he spends his life throughout his entire life by crossing 7 different stages. He believes a person comes and performs as he is on the stage, and he performs 7 different ages, and he closes the last stage and departs from the stage. Same, a person comes into this world and passes through the 7 different phases, and his eventful history ends with the 7th stage. So he has his own philosophy about the 7 different stages. He described all the stages with his own mentality and keeping his own philosophy. So we are only talking about what he thinks or believes. We are going towards the stage number 1 or age number 1. According to Shakespeare, the first age of a man is infant. What is infant? We call infant is a newborn baby. He believes the first age starts of a person when he comes into this world, and the person is not able to speak, to think, or to do any activity. He just cries in the hands of a nurse's arms, and he kneels and he cries. So this is the first stage of a person starts, and his journey begins from that point. This is the first stage when he comes into this world. And then the second stage starts. After a few years, he grows older and he grows younger. Even he starts going to school. He goes to school but unwillingly. Everyone knows that going to school in early ages is quite difficult. If you have great fun over there at school, then one can go without hastening, without any restriction or without any other problem. But if there is no fun over there, the child is reluctant to go and to study in school. So Shakespeare believes the second age of a man is whining. Whining means creeping. Whining means crying. Crying like a baby. When he goes to school, he is unwilling. He does not want to go to school. So that is why he cries. And he makes a sad face that he is not going to school. The third stage, lover. This is a different stage told by Shakespeare than that. He says that when a man grows older, around 15, 16, 17 and 18 years, he falls in love with someone. First, as he falls in love with someone, he thinks that he is flying in the air, and he feels himself one of the happiest men of the world. But sooner, all his dreams shattered. All his dreams ends when he got his breakup, and he sighs like a furnace. He cries and he writes some sad song to his mistress. Means when a person falls in love with someone, he is happy. But when the relationship ends, he cries, he is sad, and he does not want to love anymore in the world. So, this is the third stage. Now, the fourth stage starts or begins. What is the fourth stage? Fourth stage is soldier. Here, Shakespeare does not want to tell that actually someone wants to become a soldier. Here, he wants to tell that when a person enters into the years of 20 to 25 years, between these years, a man thinks that he is a very important personality of the world. He is ready to quarrel with everyone. He is angry at any small quarrel. He fights. He seeks to fight with someone. He wishes to be respected by everyone. So this is the fourth stage. Soldier means he is angry, he fights with everyone, he is ready to quarrel with each other person, but he seeks his respect. The age number 5, justice. This is the age when we call someone an uncle. Yes, you got my point. When you see an uncle, means your special person, like in your family, the father's brother or someone else, means around 40 years to 50 years, a person is called in our society an uncle. So an uncle is described by Shakespeare justice. At that age, person believes that he has become an intelligent person. He thinks that he is intelligent, he is wise, and he can make better decisions by any other. So he believes that he should be considered the important and intelligent person of the society, and he wants himself to be respected by every member of the society. Then the sixth stage shifts, the lean. What does it mean? The lean. Lean means thin. This is the age when the decline starts of a person. Person becomes thin and his voice also shrinks. His voice also seems treble. Means he wants to show himself that he is young, but he is not anymore young. Sometimes he, according to Shakespeare, he wears dresses like he is a fool person. He wants to show himself as an intelligent person, but actually he is a fool. He looks like a fool person because he becomes thin and his voice turns treble, and he is not even to do very work hardly. So the last stage, the second, childishness. The last stage, the second, childishness. Shakespeare believes that life of a person ends with the 7th stage, and he named the 7th stage as a second, childishness. What does it mean? As he says that when a person is newborn baby, he is not even to do an activity. Same in the last stage, a person is no more if the person is not capable to do an activity. Even the poet has used the word sense, sans, S-A-N-S, sans, sans teeth, sans taste, sans everything, means without taste, without sight, without any other thing. So he is about to die in the 7th stage, and he is not able to do any activity. Even he is not able to eat food, he is not able to walk properly, he is not able to think or remember all the daily activities. This is how the life ends. Shakespeare believes one has to pass 7 different stages in the life. Inshallah, we will continue in the next lecture with the next poem. I hope you have understood every single point of this lecture. If you want to ask a question, write in the group, WhatsApp group or Facebook or any other link. Thank you for watching this video. Inshallah, we will see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.